And then let's go view it on YouTube. Okay. Hello, hello, my friends. Hopefully, we won't continue to experience the same issue. All right, so let me go ahead and share this real quick. This is take two, you guys, of this Wednesday morning's live stream, but I haven't got too far yet. Let me just go ahead and share this real quick. So if we're off to an awesome morning. Yes. All right, so let me just share that real quick. And we are back. All right, let me just go into this one and delete the other one that I had originally done. I do apologize. I do apologize for the inconvenience this morning. All right, so this one, just change the status to private. Maybe I can delete it after. All right, I'll delete it after. All right, so good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Carmen with Elemental Designs. As you guys see here, we have page number 4 from our chipboard journal. This is the chipboard journal that I am referring to. I've done a few pages on here. We're on page number 4. And today we're going to be testing out the Chalky Gesso by Deco Art. And we're going to test this out with watercolors. I want to see how absorbent. I want to see how the colors flow over it. So I'm gessoing my chipboard. And I'm making sure that I have it nicely covered because I'm going to be using watercolors. So I know I'm going to be using a lot of water on this today. So I want to make sure that my chipboard is nice and protected. And we're just going to do the same thing again to the other side. And this dries rather quickly. Today we're going to be doing a little mixture of watercoloring and collage art. Hey, welcome back. Good morning, DB. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me this morning. Much appreciated. We've been having a little bit of a glitch this morning. This is my take 2. For some reason, it was kicking everybody out of the chat originally. And I don't know what's going on. If you have any social media accounts, please, please, please do me the favor and share. I was talking about earlier that I think YouTube is playing games with me when it comes to my subscriber count, when it comes to people actually getting notifications of my videos. I don't know what's going on, but something odd, something very strange is going on. And I'm trying to figure out if it's YouTube or if it's me or what's going on. So I do greatly appreciate it if you would share. I'm just trying to see what happens as far as you know, YouTube notifying people, so on and so forth. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would share on your social media. Because if that is the case, and they are somehow controlling the growth of the bottom tier people, which I'm part of the bottom tier, then I don't think that that's, you know, that's cool. Because, you know, we see a whole bunch of people that are always trying to raise their subscriber count by doing giveaways, this, that, and the third. And I'm wondering now if part of the reason why maybe they don't reach their goals or their milestones or whatever the case may be is because there's some type of control that's happening in the background, which, you know, if that is the case, then that's not right. So I'm trying to challenge the system at this point in time, because what else, right? What else are we going to do? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that whole thing. All right. I've got coffee in me. If I talk about a minute, I do apologize. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I drank coffee. I drank coffee, and that just makes everything faster. At least for me, it does. All right, so I'm gonna have that there. I've pulled out some collage elements. I pulled it out of an ephemera book. These are copyright free images. We've got this little situation here. We're going to be doing some stenciling on here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I wanted to show you real quick for those of you that are stepping in new. So I have some ephemera pieces here. Some are Tim Holtz, some are not. Or maybe they all are. I have no idea. And then I have two images here. I'm going to figure out what size. My little curlies came up. I'm trying to figure out what size. I think that might be too large. So maybe I'll work with this size here, this smaller version of it. So we're going to be doing some collaging. I've got also some scrapbook paper there on the side that we're going to be incorporating into today's piece. I'm going to go ahead and do some gessoing, not gessoing, stenciling. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to see if this will work for me. I have no idea if this paste will actually, I mean, it's pretty thick. It's pretty thick, so yeah. I basically created this paste with some of the chalky paint that I had that was like already super dry and wasn't really coming out. You guys have seen me struggle with those a little bit. So I thought, how cool would it be to create my own kind of colored paste? So that's basically what this is. This was like the beige, and so I kind of made myself my own little modeling paste. It's really thick and heavy because the chalky paint is so thick. So we're gonna go ahead and grab some stencils. If I can find them. And I think I'm going to work or play with this one right here today. This is a larger version of the organic stencil that I have. Yay! Ada's back. Let me know if you guys experience any glitches. Hopefully not. But we'll see. You see the stain right here? This is where I have my little accident with the black ink. And this thing is so super saturated. I was crying, you guys. I was crying. I was like, no, please. Don't do it to me. But it did it anyway. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of just create a few little patterns here and there. I'm not decoupaging, so I don't need my surface to be flat. I'm going to be collaging, but it's going to be kind of like dimensional collaging. Good morning, Michael. Or Michelle, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's a manner of, you know. Oh, awesome. Well, you're at the right place because I love to explain what I'm doing. So welcome. So we're going to try this paste out. And again, this paste was used by recycling some of the paints that I had. This was like the really dry, chalky paint that I had left over. And let me not do that with a popsicle stick. Let me actually get a tool to do that. So we're going to go ahead and kind of like spread some of this paste out. Again, this stencil is available at happydaycrafts.com, but it's available in the 6x6 size. So it's available in a smaller size. And we're just going to basically spread some of this baby on here. Just for some color. And I'm not going to put it everywhere, just in a few random places, just to give it some texture, some character, some dimension. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So if you don't possess, you know, store-bought modeling paste is extremely easy to create with a little bit of glue, a little bit of either baby powder. If you can find the regular baby powder that is cornstarch free, I recommend that over the cornstarch baby powder. Unfortunately, because of whatever lawsuits are happening behind the scenes, baby powders now are not as readily available, or at least the regular baby powder is not really available. I'm not finding that thing anywhere. I think it has a lot to do with this whole lawsuit that they have because of women putting the powders in the wrong places. So, yeah. Yes, I'm working on my art journal today. So we're doing page number 4. and I wanted to test out the quality of this Chalky Gesso as it pertains to watercoloring. Because I know that they have a special kind of, it's like a gesso that is designed for watercoloring, but I wanted to see how this actually works because it creates a little bit of tooth. So I'm hoping that it'll actually allow my watercolors to flow well, but we shall find out today. That's what this is all about. And those are the kind of things that I love to do on my channel, is test out new things and just see what works, what doesn't work. And also, if it doesn't work, try to figure out a way to make it work. Like, how can I make this work? So we do a lot of those types of things and troubleshooting and things like that. Oh, there goes Venus. Venus just says hello. Oh, she's fighting with somebody. Let me go see what's going on. Oh, what happened? Oh, the doorbell. All right, you guys, give me a second. There's a doorbell. I gotta run this thing.
Hey! Oh, God. Venus.
Sorry, my friends. Sorry. Oh my goodness, we're in the eventful morning. Let me just catch my breath. I live on the third floor and I ran downstairs. Whew. Lord have mercy. All right, we're back. Let me put this nail file over here. We don't need that. So, yes, my Venus is overprotective. She's one of those dogs that she can sense when you're outside of the building. And my daughter's friend came by, and I guess Venus recognized her scent. There goes her big sister. She'll be taking care of her in a second. So yes. All right, I think that's I think that's kind of good enough. Maybe a little bit over here. A little bit maybe right here in this area. All right, so let's see what everybody's talking about here. Oh, thank you, Ada. You're working. To this journal, to the chipboard journal, or I'm not sure if you're talking to me or you're talking to somebody else. When you guys will have something to say to me, put it in caps so that I know that you guys are talking to me as opposed to having interaction with each other. In the next upcoming days, we're going to do a jelly printing session because I need to learn how to do it. I need to learn how to do it as well as Ada does it. Ada did a beautiful job. And I'm so happy. I love the fact that she shared with me her results. I love seeing what you guys create. Especially at a time like this when, you know, we can't really do much. It's so awesome. Yay, baby under control. She's so spoiled, you guys. That's our baby. That's Venus, our baby. And yeah. What else can we do, right? Oh, with the jelly. Oh, yeah. All right, all right. So, yeah. I'm going to be having a little bit of a journaling session because I need to practice, and practice makes perfect, my friends. Sip of coffee. I only have 1 cup of coffee a day because I can't handle all that caffeine, and that's decaf, and I still be at 100. All right, so let's go ahead and dry this really quickly. And I'm gonna start adding in some, just a little bit of collaging. I've chosen these papers to kind of just add little bits and pieces to. Also, some regular like book pages. I have a little vintagey William Shakespeare book that I like to use. And that's what we like to do here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I love to be able to show you guys like just ways that you can do your own versions of things, because we don't always have exactly the same materials. But it's always good to be able to find substitute or ideas for substitution, things like that. So this is chalky base, so it's going to dry really, really fast. And because it's chalky paint, hopefully it still has the same property as far as when I apply the watercolors to it. And I really like the beige because it's so vintagey to me. Like it's a natural start for like a vintage project. And this is kind of vintagey a little bit. A little vintagey, a little shabby. But all mixed media. All mixed media. All right. All right. I have this piece here. This is gauze that I used to soak up some of the black ink that I had on my desk. So I'm going to use this, but I'm not going to use this like you guys probably think I'm going to glue it in place. No, I'm going to use it like a stencil, but not for that, but mostly for like ink. So I'm going to kind of open these things up a little bit so that I can push some color through it. So I'm going to dab some color in there and see what kind of a result I get, because that's what we like to do here. Experiment, experiment, experiment. So I got myself a little makeup applicator, little sponge. And I'm going to do this with Dazzle ink because I want the stains that I create to be somewhat permanent. If I don't like them, I can always. All right, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. And we're going to see how this is going to go. And just kind of see what happens. If I can get some of that grid pattern. Okay, something is happening. Maybe I need something a little thicker because it's not that's not working too well. Maybe with some spray. So let me do this. Let me put a little bit here. And close it so that I don't repeat the same mistake twice, right? Because that's what it should be about, not repeating the same mistakes twice. So let's just kind of do this and see how that goes. And see. Okay. I mean, it looks a little strange now, but I think if you put enough, then you might be okay. And I don't want to put it like too much all over the place, but I do want to see if I get like cool texture from doing this. And you get a little bit. I guess it all depends on what you're using to create your thing with. We're gonna keep moving from that one, but I think it will work depending on what you're doing, because you do get like kind of like that separation. It almost looks like fingerprints to a certain extent, but oh well. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of collaging. Nothing too major. I don't want to go too crazy with the collaging aspects, only because I want to have room to play with the watercolors. And you'd be surprised how fast you fill up a 12 by 12. I know that initially they can be very intimidating, but the reality is that you fill up that space so fast. Let me go ahead and get some Mod Podge or Decoupage. some decoupage, and we're just gonna add a little bit. We're just gonna add a little bit here and a little bit there. Mainly, I think maybe I'll add it to the edges. Maybe I'll add it to the edges. I think that'll look nice. Yeah, I think I like that. And then I'll do this. And kind of frame the whole page out. Which I don't necessarily have to do now. I can do this after, but at least get an idea of where I'm gonna go with this whole thing. And that way I have my little bits of paper kind of ready to just glue on. So that's basically what I'm gonna do with those. Super wonky, but that's what's awesome about it. So I'm gonna frame the page out, I think, with those little bits of paper once I'm done. So let's put those to the side for right now. And let's start adding a little bit of watercolor in here. Why not? Let's get that part of the show going. I'm missing, what am I missing on? So I'm like, I know that this goes to somewhere. And my wet little baby wipe here, I'm just gonna real roughly just clean up some of that. Okay, so watercolors, watercolors. Oh my, the watercolors. Let's see what happens here. So I have, like I said, some sakuras. And let me pull out some of these elements here so that I can kind of figure out what I'm going to be doing really. As far as the page, the layout for this page. And I'm just going to kind of rip this up. And this is the Maid of Ephesus. That's what this image is called. I'm gonna rough chop it. And just get some of these little bits and pieces out. We've already lost half an hour this morning because of the whole glitch with the chat. So hopefully I'll be able to make up for some of that time. I don't want to cut off her elbow, so I'm just going to rough this up with the back of my scissor. Right? All right. So I kind of like that. So that's the base image that we're going to be using today. This coffee tastes so good. This is caramel macchiato with a little dash of half and half. And it is delicious. I'm like,
She's texting me saying, listen, we're outside, wake up.
I know. I had to like run downstairs. And Venus, you know how Venus gets every time somebody rings the doorbell, knocks on the door, she loses her damn mind.
They were like, we're gonna go work out, so wake up.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a hey, listen, that's a good wake up call. Have fun, dude.
I'll be back within an hour.
Hey, work out for a little bit longer than that.
I'll be back within an hour.
All right. So I think maybe the colors on the birds, maybe she's looking at the birds. Right? So we can put the birds like somewhere. We'll see. We'll see. But this color scheme is like very muted because my printer doesn't print things out right. So I'm wondering, maybe I can go with something like this. Keep that as far as the color, maybe. And these are Tim Holtz ephemera packs. Okay. So I like those black and white ones. I like those two rose ones for right now. So I'm gonna put this to the side. Maybe I'll incorporate this bird. I don't know, but at least I have a premise of where we're going with that. And then I'll add some of the other papers in little bits here and there as I feel that I need them to kind of match up what I'm doing here. Okay, that's the scooper method. So I'm thinking something like that. Um, let's see. Maybe I will go ahead and kind of trim her out just a little bit. I want to expose her top half. So I'm going to remove a lot of this color in the background. So just bear with me. It'll be just another second. I could never be one of those people that cuts the images out and leaves like a whole perfect white outline around it. I try, and that never works for me. I don't know how some people do it. I cannot. I'll be real quick to either chop off an arm or something, or a vital part of the image when trying to do that. I have to go straight against the edge of the design. Okay. So I'm going to remove, actually, all of this. I'm going to remove all of that. Right? She has a jug there. I think I'll leave the jug. And then I think what I'm going to do, just got an idea, is I want her to come up from the inside of that. So to do that, I'm going to cut a line into this. And kind of like stick her in there. And I know she's got a jug. She takes her jug everywhere she goes, okay? You guys don't hold it against her. But I'm thinking something like that, right? Maybe I can even take it one step further. And not necessarily cut the jug out, but make it so that the jug stays out. So, something like that, right? She's kind of waiting for something. You don't know what the heck she's waiting for, but she's waiting for something or someone. So let's see. Let's see. So now that we have kind of like our focal point and also kind of like a color scheme to start working with, and then I can just kind of put this, you know, stick this here, stick this there, stick this wherever. So we'll figure that part of it out. We can start adding some colors. So let's go ahead and see what we do. I'm just going to saturate my colors real quick. And where is my watercolor brush? There it is. There it is. I have one brush that I use specifically for watercolors, even though every now and then I have been known to dip it into some acrylic. But don't hold it against me, my friends. Don't hold it against me. So, let's see. Let's start with some browns. And that brown, I want it to be just a little bit darker. Let's see if it does anything. Seems to just kind of roll off. But let's see what kind of effects we can get either way. And just kind of bring it on to the edge. So for watercolor as it stands, to create a beautiful piece of art that is solely watercolor and you need things to be precisely where you put them, I don't know if this will do the trick for you. We'll have to see how the effects look after it's done. Right now, I feel like I'm just kind of staining the paper as opposed to painting on it. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. How's the chat going? Any more issues with the chat? So it kind of rolls. Let me see if I can kind of show you closer up. So when I apply the paint, usually when you apply the paint to like watercolor, it's kind of like what happens with a napkin when you drop water on it. It kind of, you know, it blooms out. There's no blooming here. There's no blooming anything. The color doesn't spread out. It basically stays wherever you put it, which in a way is good if you know, if you want to do like certain things like that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So we're basically gonna go and just add some of this color in here. And then I'm gonna spray a little bit of water as I'm gonna go feeding in. Now that I know that I cannot achieve that kind of, you know, let's say I wanted to paint the lake type of a situation, this is not gonna be the way to do it. So we'll see. I'll drop a little bit of color here and there. Just kind of get that in there. Just a little bit of color here and there, and just see kind of like how the whole thing goes. I'm going to incorporate the dark colors in here because again she's got dark tones on her as well. So hopefully this will actually work out well once it's all kind of said and done. I'm going to push it right into that brown just so that they touch, give each other a little kiss, and that way they kind of blend nicely one into the other. But this is why this video was called the test, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're testing out different things to do. That's awesome. This is a lot paler as well. The colors are a little bit more translucent. If that's the mailman, somebody's gonna have to go at that door because I don't know if I could run consecutively down to the first floor, back up to the third floor, without like. Okay. Yeah, that was not gonna work for me. Not today. Okay. Let me spray this side. I don't think I did. And get some of that to kind of flow. We're gonna try the Jane Davenports and just see. Maybe it's a situation with this particular set. So we're gonna test out some of the colors in the Jane Davenport and see kind of like what happens. See, I can't do like a Lindsay the Frugal Crafter type of watercoloring. I haven't really tried to do that. So I'm not gonna say I can't do it, but what I will say is I haven't really tried to do that that extensive, you know, beautiful detailed watercolor work like how she does. I watch and I try to learn, but I just gravitate more towards acrylics. I just do. And I water my acrylics down to create a watercolor effect, but I'm just trying to see where my mind takes me with this one today. So I'm just gonna allow it to do what it wants to do until it's tired of doing it. Okay, awesome sauce. So basically combinations of brown and black is basically what I'm doing. I mean, when you add water to it, it definitely works a little bit better. So maybe if you wanted to do watercoloring with this gesso, then I would definitely recommend the constant adding of the water to the surface. You know, obviously dry in between so that you don't end up messing up your chipboard. But I think that if you water it enough, then you will just allow the colors to kind of flow and do what they want to do. Especially for like background purposes and stuff like that, you'll have fun. Because I'm starting to have fun now. Now that I'm starting to get the kind of like the hang of it, it's been a while since I've watercolored. Sometimes you forget like the steps, right? It looks like a dark sky. So maybe I'll turn this thing around and leave that like there's some kind of dark cloud is happening there. And then just kind of add those in. And just to see. I think we're in the right direction. I think we're going in the right direction. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Okay, so let's test out a little bit of the Janes and see what's up with Jane. What's up with Jane? Okay, not this one, I don't think. Now, I've gone ahead and taken my watercolors out, and I've basically filled up the whole little tin with the colors that I know for a fact I'm going to use the most. That's basically what I did out of the two sets. So I filled in the whole thing. And then the colors that I know for a fact that I'm not going to really be using as often, I kind of left them here. Plus, it allows me to add more colors that I might not have in there. So I have like a lime green, terracotta kind of brown, a white, and a gray. So let's go ahead and add maybe some blue in here, right? Let's see. Let's go with some blue. And there's some colors in here already that'll probably mix into it, which is fine by me. I encourage it. Okay, and again, let's add some color and just kind of feed in the colors into it and just see what happens. My technique might be very different from somebody else's technique. Again, we're all striving for different results. So the techniques might vary, results might vary. Your technique might end up developing into something completely different from that which you see. Accept it. It is a good thing. Don't fight it. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow, my friends. Just go with the flow. So I'm going to kind of do that. You could also, if you don't have watercolors, you can also use water-soluble crayons and just basically, you know, run your crayon on some kind of a plate or something glass or something metal, and then add water to that, and then you can use that as a watercolor as well. Okay, let's see. What other colors can we go in here with? Do I want some? No, I don't want some purple. But I do see that there is like this magenta happening in there, so maybe the magenta. Maybe I'll add the magenta to the blue right here. Make it even more magenta-y. Turns it into a more of a purpley color. And you guys know that I don't necessarily follow color families, so on and so forth. I follow mood. Whatever the mood strikes for. Whatever colors the mood strike, if they clash, they clash. Maybe that was the mood that I was in. And that's perfectly fine as well. See, it turned to a purple anyway. The pink and the blue turned into a purple anyway. So let's make it a little bit more vibrant. Maybe a little bit of red to kind of get it back to where I needed it to be. I like that. I like that purpley color. Just gonna kind of put that in there and just allow it to do whatever it wants to do. And I'm putting it right over all of those little bits and pieces of gesso surfaces and all those stenciled areas. It's a little bit of purple. I'm going to clean the palette out and get some true magenta so that I can blend that into that as well. So it's basically it does the same thing. So it's not the watercolor, it's the surface of the gesso. I guess because it still has that plasticky kind of a paint to it. It has like this rolling effect where it doesn't really blossom or bloom, however they say it, into what it needs to. I always try to trust the process even when I think it's not going right, because eventually it ends up okay. And I don't know which way I'm going to use this, so I'm just going to be adding and adding and adding until I figure it out. Let me collect some of this purple off of here. And let's grab some of that magenta. Okay, we're going to go back to the magenta and see if I can grab some of this really pretty color and add that in between all of that. You guys know I always go for like pinks and blues in most of my color schemes. Always have like that pink, that blue. What I will say is that the chipboard is holding up really, really nicely. Even though, as you guys can see, I'm adding a ton of you know, of all of these different watercolors and spraying it down like crazy. So you know, you can go ahead and gesso your surfaces and know you're not going to necessarily tear the whole thing up because you're spraying a whole bunch of water on it, which is always good. There's nothing worse than having your book fall apart on you. So how's everybody doing this morning? Are any of you playing with your watercolors right now? And I did gesso it twice. I gave it a second coating just because I knew that I was going to be doing this. So, you know, make sure that you prepare yourself. I'll put a little bit of that concentrated in there. I'm just trying to create some kind of background. You just do it little by little, little by little. Now allow that to kind of move around as it wants to. And a fine mister works better than doing it with, you know, something that sprays heavy. So a fine little mister will do. Just move that in one direction. Let's move that in another direction. Let's move it And it's very saturated. You can see how flimsy it kind of looks. And I like that. So let me go ahead and add, dry it up a little bit. So I feel like I'm getting to the borderline of no return. So let me go ahead and apply some much needed heat. Oh, nice. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. Alcohol inks? What about alcohol inks, Ada? You could do the same thing. Oh, you're playing with alcohol inks. Oh, nice. You could do the same thing. Totally, totally. Totally, totally. So we're just going to dry this up a little bit. I'm going to go into it and I start adding a little bit of paper and stamping, and then I'll start adding a little bit more color where I feel it needs more color. But I'm going to start adding some of this paper so that I can kind of start bringing everything together. It's kind of where I wanted to dry this now so that I can apply my glue and not worry about it messing up my papers. And everything that's really muted. Maybe I'll add a little bit more vibrancy with some of my sprays. This is very soft, which I like for some things, not for all things. You guys know I'm a very vibrant, colorful type of person. I love that vibrancy of the colors, the boldness. But I like to get soft too sometimes. So I think this is pretty good. A little bit more. Okay. So that'll work. That will work. Let's go ahead and just kind of put this in here for now. Let's put that in there. Let's go ahead and start adding some of this paper. And by this paper, I mean this paper. I think that this will match nicely with that. Not so much this one, I don't think. I wasn't sure which way it was going to kind of go, so I took out two different ones just to kind of see where we end up. So, let's see. I don't want to mess up that butterfly, but I want this whole slice right here. I saved the butterfly in the bottom. So let's go ahead and just get some tears here. And I know that I'm adding some of that paper here and there. Maybe. Okay. Let me start getting my, I did most of the watercoloring that I wanted to try. So from this moving forward, it's a free-for-all. We're just going to do whatever we got to do. So let me go ahead and glue this one down first. I'm going to add this piece first, and then we'll add the rest of it. And the reason why I didn't glue these down first is because then I was going to have to gesso them again, which I'm still going to add a little bit of gesso to the top of this here and there, maybe some watered down gesso just to kind of lighten it up a little bit. But once you apply the Mod Podge down, that sealer, there's no watercolor going on top of that at all. At all. Where's my little piece that I cut out? Where are you, little piece? I was going to say I lost it already. What the heck? But I found it. I found it. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. And I do my decoupaging, i.e. collaging a little bit different in the sense that I don't always glue over the surfaces right away. Sometimes I'll let them dry first and then I'll glue over them. Only because I've noticed that sometimes when you glue over the paper so quickly after gluing it down, it will mess up your paper because it makes it so wet and very fragile. So Usually I like to glue everything down first, and then I'll start adding, you know, once I know it's secure in place and I know where I want it, then I'll start adding other elements to it. So let's see. Some of the other elements. I don't know about that one. That one doesn't have much writing on it. Something like that. We're just going to start adding some of these elements in there. And again, little bits and pieces. That's basically what I'm going to be adding here and there. Little bits and pieces. To the whole thing. Okay. Let's do a little bit on the other side. Jeez, I'm just like an accident waiting to happen. All right, so let's go ahead and add a little bit more. And to this one, I want to add like this corner here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that corner ready to go. Now, I wish I would have had another corner there to put in there, but that's okay. I kind of like this whole big panel there. I think that'll look nice in that area there because of the colors that are around it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply. Start the preliminary gluing. I really like that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's not waste. Let's not waste the little bits. Use that as well. Once it's dry, I'll trim off all the little excess bits and pieces, and we'll figure out. Right? I think it's working well together. So far, so far. So we'll see. We'll see how it all kind of comes together once she's all kind of done. Maybe this is too bold for it. I don't know. So we'll see if I kind of like leave her be, or if I create something else to kind of anchor her. Because for me, I just need anchor points. Like, I'm one of those people, I need the anchor points. If I don't have the anchor points, I think that I'm kind of messing up. Since I got a corner here, I figure I might as well try to create a corner here somewhere. Basically taper that off just a smidge. I'll just do the edges. All right, let's do a little bit of trimming while we still can, just so that we know exactly what we're working with. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have left over. And this is just to kind of give you guys an idea. This is why all that my art journal doesn't necessarily have a certain theme to it. Because basically what I'm doing with each page is just showing you different ways that you can create on it, different things that you can use, different mediums that you can actually use, different ways that you can incorporate, you know, different things into it. So, okay. I think what I want to do now is grab maybe a little bit of this. Well, I need to fill this space in there. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. And that's what's awesome about these types of things, that anything will work. Literally anything will work. You don't ever want to saturate your glue. Like, you don't want to put a glob of glue when you're going to be decoupaging, because again, it's going to interfere with the integrity of what you're trying to do. It'll mess up it'll make your papers very weak and vulnerable to tears and things falling apart. A little bit of blending magic right there. Okay, so I kind of like that. I didn't really do much in the bottom, I don't think. So I can totally go ahead and add these in there in the bottom to create the grounds, because I like my images to be grounded somehow. I don't like for them to just kind of be floating mid-space without something under them, behind them. There has to be something that kind of anchors them to the piece. Thank you, Ada. Thank you, Carrie. You are welcome, love. So that's basically what I like to do. I like to glue, make sure that they're glued down first, and then I'll go in and I'll add whatever other Mod Podge or whatever it may be that it needs after. All right, so we did that. Let me go ahead and clean my little glue brush real quick, or it'll be a spatula in no time. Let me see, let me see. Oh, oh my goodness, Ada. I haven't done the inks yet. I don't really have the inks like that. I have to do that. I have to get that. What kind of surface are you working on? Is that Jupo paper? That's beautiful. And I love the colors. You know, the blue green, that's my thing right there. Loving the colors. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, my friend. Gorgeous. Okay, so what are we doing? I still feel like it needs a little bit more color, right? Right? Is it just me, or does it need a little bit more color? I think. So what I'm gonna do I'm gonna spray into this little thingamabob over here, and I'm gonna grab me a little sponge of my job and just intensify some of these blues. 3 little sprays, nothing too major. I'm gonna intensify some of these blues and still somehow keep it within the watercolor consistency, right? Let's kind of make some type of clouds with this. And let me get the pink while I still can. I'm going to do the pink on the other side. 3 sprays of that, 3 sprays of that. I need another little bit more of this. And I'm going to use the sponge to kind of, you know, just intensify some of these colors a little bit. The blues and the pinks especially. I think to a certain extent we already have a lot of that purple in here. So I'm going to just try to just kind of add that in. Very subtle like. And I haven't Mod Podged the papers over it, so hopefully they'll take some of this ink in here just so that it kind of blends all in, right? Make it all one with nature. And we gotta use up all that yummy goodness. All of that yummy goodness, my friends. All of it. All of it. Oh, it's the Jupo paper. Oh man. You know, that's one of the reasons why I haven't really invested into the whole alcohol ink thing, is because of that dang paper. The paper almost costs more than the ink. And you only get a little bit. If you know of a great deal, or you know that they give you at least a good amount for your buck, let me know. Because I don't mind investing as long as the investment is fruitful. You know, it's worth it. It's got to be worth it, quantity wise and quality wise. It's got to be worth it. I'm one of those, yes, frugal shoppers, right? A frugal shopper. Because what it is with me is that I get excited about so many different things, like product wise. If I just start going ham, forget about it. So I like to test things out, but I like to do it at a reasonable price. I like to do it at a reasonable price, my friends. Yes. All right, so let me just add a little bit more glue in that center area there, and then we shall proceed. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I think I got the paper, you know, I got enough paper in there where it feels nice. Just stain up some of those. It feels nice enough to me. So add some splashes. Just a few. Just a few. As I saturate the paper. Just a few. Oh, poster boards? See, that I could get my hands on. So I could definitely test it out on some poster boards. I have a shop right up the street that I could get that from. I'll have to try. That would be a very good economical way to test it out and see if you even like it, because there's nothing like investing money in something that you don't like, and then it's like, dang it, why did I do that? All right, let's see, but that came out beautiful. I like you with this whole background thingamajig that you're doing. Very, very nice. Very, very nice, my friend. Okay, so what else am I gonna do here? Oh, let me dry this so I can stamp. I should have stamped first and then splashed, but oh well. Oh well. The rest of it is just gluing stuff on, which is why I'm taking my time with the background the way that I am, because the rest is just gluing on some of those little elements here and there. She's basically a black and white image, even though she's not black and white. She's kind of like beige and black, or beige and purple actually. She came out weird with the color, but so I'm trying to think. Where exactly or how exactly am I gonna place her? She gets lost in there. She literally blends into the background. So that's no bueno. Let's go ahead and get the ink again out. And let's see what stamp we use. Definitely gotta get my fonts in there. So let's get some fonts happening. Am I using the wrong ink pad? Probably. Oy vey. Let's see what else we have in here that we can use. Here's the other one. I gotta write on them. Number one, number two. One of them is super juicy, so I try to use it to kind of stamp the other, to feed the other one. Okay. So, and I look for impression. I don't look for perfection. A little bit. Like I just wanted to show a little bit. I'm looking in my bucket of things to do, things to add. I have a little bucket under me where I keep certain little things, certain little background stamps or stamps that I like to use for background. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe this one. Since we have some grids taking place. Okay. Two-P roll. They have a roll. They have rolls. What? Girl. They have rolls. Let me find out. Okay. All right. So that's good enough for this one. I'm a hot mess, you guys. Hot, 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 hot mess. Oh, and maybe some birds, right? I know I have a stamp block somewhere around there. I just saw it. Why is it that when I see things, I'm like, okay, I know where it is. And then when I go look for it, I'm like, oh, shoot, where is it? Okay, so maybe I will just stamp it right off the plastic because I'm not going to be going crazy here. I don't know if this bird is upside down, right side up. I have no idea. Okay, I like that. And then let's go for this clock. Not so much the words, but the clock. Where do I want to put this clock at? That's the question. The concept of time and space. Just a little bit. That's a little bit. Yes, I know. I swear I got a troll that lives here somewhere and it just keeps taking my stuff. Just keeps taking my stuff. I don't know. All I know is that when I go look, I can't find. And I don't know why I can't find. This dang little troll, he needs to get a little eviction notice and be like, go. You need to go. Because you are making me, you are delaying my production, my friend. Oh, this is nice. All right. How I'm going to do this one. Let's see. I haven't stamped in a while. It's funny because it's like sometimes you just lose the joy for doing certain things. And I go through that sometimes. That's like my depression right there. When I don't want to craft, it's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And these are from like eBay, like these stamps that I'm using, you guys. This is nothing fancy, and if they are, I have no idea what they're called, what their names are. I just buy them because I like what they look like, but not because of who makes it. I've never been one to shop because of a brand. I shop because of the aesthetic. How does it look? How can I use it? Will I use it? Does it look nice? Not because of who makes it. I think that's another thing. You know, I'm not one of those people that, you know, chases trends. So like if Jane Davenport came out with like all of this stuff right now, I would not be here like, oh my god, look at this, look at this. I can't do that. I'll buy it if I like it, but just because she made it doesn't mean that I'm gonna buy it. I don't. That's not me. So you won't really see much of that happening here. I know some. I literally watch people that do that. So like I don't knock the hustle, because I see what's coming out. So I appreciate that. Don't stop doing it. I need to see. I need to see. That way I know, okay, buy, don't buy. But I've never been one to follow trends. I barely follow the seasons and the holidays. I just like to create for the sake of creating. Anything that helps me to achieve that, I'm happy. All right. So now that we have a little bit of color here, we have a little bit of a situation here happening. Now I want to be able to kind of like anchor her down. She got this stupid jug, which I'm really not feeling. I'm not feeling the dang jug. Yes, I'm like that. And I'll do a lot of shopping on eBay and stuff like that. Like, to be honest with you, I think I was, if not the first, like one of the first two, the first three people here on YouTube that shared dies for the very first time before people even knew that you can get those on eBay. Yeah, I was one of those people that like constantly like buying, but that's usually what I'll do. Like I'll buy on eBay. I like buying stuff that is not like common, even though now since it's so popular, everything is common. But oh, I like that. I like that like that too. I think it goes like this, but I kind of like it standing up. Kind of like that. I'm trying to see if there's something that I can put under her arms. I can hide that stupid jug. But it's gotta be something. It's gotta be something. Oh, I think I found it. Eureka! Okay, let me try to see. You guys, you know me, right? And I'm gonna be incorporating. I'm trying. I don't want to set it in stone just yet, but just to give you guys a heads up, I'm gonna be incorporating stuff like this into my shop. But obviously I'm gonna do my own little spin on it. It'll be images like this that you can use, images that are 100%, you know, free, copyright free, that you guys can kind of do. And I'm gonna make them in different sizes for different projects. So there we go. Now she's kind of leaning on that jumbo flower, which I kind of like a little bit more than what she was leaning on earlier, which is that dumb jug. Don't like the jug. So I want her to be in color. Maybe that'll work. We'll see. We'll see. We'll get it together, my friends. We shall get it together. I don't know. Like a jillion butterflies. Where's that huge bird that I said I might not use? I might use it now, actually. I might use it. I have to get my ephemera game on lock because I like doing collages. I like doing these types of things, but my ephemera is all over the place, honestly. I had a system. That system went kaput. That system went kaput. So like I'm trying to make it look like she's like in this field. A lot of these Sasson gave them to me because he doesn't really do girly. He likes vintagey and he'll do feminine. I love when he does like those feminine type of pages that are vintagey. He does do them, but for the most part, it's not really his cup of tea. So he'll give them to me, like you know things like this that he doesn't feel like he can incorporate. So I'm trying to have like my field of dreams type of situation happening here. I'm gonna add a whole bunch of these colorful flowers in it. So I gotta use up this stuff. That's part of the reason why I don't buy new stuff is because I still have stuff and I feel like a hoarder already. It's not a very pretty feeling, especially when you're trying to do certain things. I think the smaller bird will work better for me. So I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Maybe a few of these type of butterflies. Ooh, el pajarito. Maybe I could make a branch. Do I have time? El pajarito. I like the pajarito. I like the little birdie. I need the butterflies to kind of pop out and not blend into the background. So kind of looking for those like that. Okay. But these ephemera packs are awesome. But you see the quality? I like the quality because they're kind of thick. So if I do make my own ephemera, it's gonna be on cardstock paper. It's not gonna be like on regular paper. It's gonna be on cardstock paper. If I can find it thicker that I can print it on, then I will. I'm looking at that. And my ink is off because of my, you know, I frugal shop. So I tested out this new company that does generic ink. Because sometimes they'll work just as well. And you'll save yourself. You can buy literally 3 packs of what you buy one. So that coffee is delicious. Even if I do say something, say it. So I don't know. I kind of like this. I thought that maybe I can put something there, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do, actually, this looks like a crazy mess right now. I'm going to start arranging some of these flowers. And maybe I can put the bird on top of one of these flowers once I arrange it instead of having to make a whole branch for it. So I'm going to tear off the bottom so that I have like an incomplete kind of seam. And then I'm just going to start gluing this. I'm going to start gluing this, all this stuff. And no, I don't ink up the edges. I've been known not to do that. I do that sometimes, but I'm not always in the mood to be inking up edges. Sometimes I like it, sometimes it's like, eh. What I would do is probably Mod Podge it, and after I've Mod Podged it, then go over with an alcohol marker or Faber-Castell Pip pen, and I'll do it that way. I'm gonna just kind of anchor that so that it kind of overlaps. And at the same time, because I ripped that edge off in the bottom, then it's not straight, so it kind of blends in nicer to this whole situation here. I need like to buy a bulk pack of brushes, but like of good brushes, not like a bulk pack of crappy ones. I need to get like a huge pack of like all kinds of brushes. I kind of like that. I like her there. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah, kind of hold that there. and then glue that down, and then work on the rest of it. And I'm gonna anchor her all the way to the bottom because I don't like floating bodies. I'm scared of ghosts, you guys. I'm scared of ghosts, and if I have a floating body, that's a ghost to me. So I don't like those. So I try to anchor them every time. Whenever I can, I try to anchor it. And this is coming together finally, right at that bitter end. Well, not maybe not so bitter, but definitely towards the end. Um, I don't know about that one. This one, maybe this one I can put like right here. And I should have kind of photocopied this because this is basically what these things are. They're copyright-free images for the most part. I'm not gonna quote it, but I believe very highly that these are copyright-free images. There's just an assortment of them, and you just have to take your time in collecting them. And I had a lot of them, but because my hard drive kind of took a dump on me, it got messed up. And I lost a lot of my files. So I have to start all over again. But I think this time I'll be a lot wiser about it. So be on the lookout because it's going to come. I know that I haven't been doing much as far as the shop lately. The shop is still open. I'm still taking orders. I still have orders to do. So all of that is still running. I'm actually waiting on stencil material right now. It should be arriving here any day. And I think today or tomorrow it should be arriving. So I'll be able to finish off those parts of it. I still have more than enough material to continue to make chipboard journals and stuff like that. So on that department, we are good. But creativity wise, it's not that the creativity hasn't been there. It's just that I'm scared to like mess up my computer and really lose everything. So I don't want to push it. So that's basically what it is. But I'm still taking like, you know, orders and all of that stuff. And I know I keep saying it, but I do have another piece coming. It's just, you know, it's the first of the month. It's the first of the month, you guys. You know how that goes, right? The light, the cable, the phone, the rent. There's other priorities than my, you know, crafting adventures that have to take precedence, especially in these times. So I have to make sure that all of those things are on point before I go splurging onto something else. Okay. I really like how this is coming out. And I want to use that bird. But I don't want to use that bird there. Maybe something like that. If I do glue that in. A lot of pretty yellow flowers. I think the yellow does a lot for this page because I didn't add any yellow. And we have a little bit of yellow in the butterflies that they came with the paper that I chose. Oh, perfect, perfect, Dios mío, perfect, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And then here, I think I'm just going to add that in just because I can, maybe. I don't know, I don't know. I don't know, you guys, I don't know. But I'm loving how this is looking so far. I love collaging. I really, really do. Collaging is like my bridge between paper crafting and mixed media. So it's like that's how I get to incorporate a little bit of both because this is similar to what you would do to a junk journal or to a scrapbook layout or to you know, a card or something of that nature. So it's, you know, it's on a larger scale, but it's very similar in process, in preparation and stuff like that. So this is like my bridge between both worlds. This is how I'll get my little fix of gluing paper, cutting paper, you know, assembling paper, all of that good stuff. Let's see, how do I want this? I just had it in the perfect way and I lifted it. And now, there we go. I think. Yeah, I think. And I kind of push them onto each other because I want it to look like a, you know, like a free range of flowers. And hopefully you guys can see that. Hopefully, do you have written word stamps? Put stamps in just a few places, not too much. Like an actual word. I do. I just have to find let me see. Let me see. Let me roll over to my other office. Well, I found this off the gate, which I know that this is gonna help me out a lot right now. This is like my favorite stamp. Look how black it is. It was clear when I first got it, but I love this stamp so much. This is a Tim Holtz stamp, and I think it's from the Flights of Fancy or something like that. And I love that stamp set. Not because of the birds or anything, because of the foliage. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my goodness. So let me add a little bit of this. Maybe this will help to kind of fill in some of those places that maybe feel a little bit they feel a little bit empty maybe. Let's see. I don't know if this is working too well for me actually. I think I have too much texture going on. And this juice pad, this ink pad is really juicy. Okay. Let's see. Along the edges. Like a paragraph, do brown ink. Okay. Brown ink I have. I have the whatchamacallit. Look, I'm shedding glue. Alright, so let me go back to my little office space over here. I'll be right back. I sold a lot of my stamps, you guys. I got rid of a lot of them. So my quantity is now. Well, I have this Tim Holt one, the Imagination one. And my pockets, I make them out of projector sheets. I fold them in half, tape them on the sides. You got a nice little pocket there. And then what I do is that I'll cut the same sheet in half, and then I have a place to put my stamps. And that's usually how I store my stamps. But it's not what I didn't do that I should have done from the beginning, which I wish I could do a whole do-over and start over all over again with this crafting adventure. At least for the organizational part of it is I didn't care to put names of brands because again I'm not somebody that really cares too much about that stuff. So I never really bothered to like label this and label that. Like this came from here, this came from there, this came from there. Like some of them they look so nice, and I wish I would have done that now in retrospect because I never thought that I would have to tell people like, oh, this is this stamp set from here, or this is that stamp set from there, and I could never really give those answers unless I really recognize the stamp that I, you know, because either I love it or I overuse it or whatever. So we want brown, right? Yes, with projector sheets. And I buy them by the box of 50 or 100. And that's a whole bunch of envelopes. That's a whole bunch of stuff right there that you can do. And I store my dies right now. I'm storing them in little binders, like little planner binders. I'll show you. Okay, let me get the ink out first. I'll go there. It's now this one, which means it's okay. So we want brown because I have other colors. We want brown, right? So I'll go into it with the brown. And I gotta find this block. Where are you, little block? The little block that could. Oh, I got brick. Got a little bit of brick in there. Where are you, little block? One day I'll get it together, you guys. I promise. One day. I think that day will be when I get totally frustrated with having to fight myself for everything that I'm looking for all the time. I just need a craft room instead of a craft space. And I think that that's part of my issue here. Is that what I have is a craft space, not a craft room. And because of that, I have everything kind of like all over the place. Organized, because I do have my stuff organized, but I just have it everywhere. And I don't have no categories for nothing. As much as I try to categorize, I always end up putting stuff in the wrong place. Okay. So, me try to use these often. It looks very light, but I like it actually because you don't see it too much. Just kind of fills in some of that space. See, I love that. I love it when you guys become part of my art process. I love that because we learn from each other, and there are no gurus here. Let me tell you, everybody just wings it. We just wing it in such a way that it just comes out nice for the most part. But we're all winging it at the end of the day. Some with a little bit more knowledge than others, but you never really know what stuff is going to look like until you do it. So I kind of filled that in a little bit. You can't really make out what it says, but at least you can see that there's some text happening back there, which I like. Maybe I shouldn't have put that there. Oh. You saw that, right? Like, maybe I shouldn't have put that there. But oh well. All right. Maybe a little bit of brick. Maybe, I don't know. This page is looking really full already. Did it even come out? I'm gonna leave it alone. Let's leave it alone so I can finish up. Because it's 12 o'clock already. Oh my goodness. All right. So where are we at? A few more little embellishments and then we'll be done. And I think I need some kind of a sentiment for this page. And I want it to be something to do with the freedom of the birds or something of that nature. So I think I'm gonna have to make that myself. Or old to be a bird and have the freedom, you know, the freedom of being able to go wherever you want to go, do whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe this is like a bird with a message. And the message is, hey, you, do what makes you happy today and stop worrying about tomorrow. Right? Because in life, you have to take advantage of every single second. Every single second is the most valuable thing that you possess. It is more valuable than anything that you can buy. It is more valuable than anything that you can do. Because it's the one thing that you can't buy, and it's the one thing that goes fast. It goes fast, and you can't do anything about it. So, take advantage, make the most of today, because tomorrow is not promised to anybody. So, something along those lines. I know I kind of covered the clock a little bit. I don't mind. I don't mind that I covered the clock a little bit. This looks like that butterfly, so it looks like she kind of came off my page. Maybe there. All right, Ada. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm almost done. Have an awesome day, love. I'm almost done over here. I try to be done before 12, actually. This is why I schedule it at 10, because usually by 12:30, I'm already out the door myself. So we're just going to do this. Because we have this kind of butterfly feeding into it, so this kind of balances it out a little bit for me. And I think that's it for the flowers. So I'm only going to do the bottom because I am actually going to write myself a little message on that card. And I'm going to use that card to tuck it in, to actually tuck it in here. So I'm only going to do the bottom of that bird so that I'm able to tuck behind it. And that creates kind of like a secret little tuck spot if you want. Those are always fun to add and to create with and create around. So I'm going to do that. So let's see what I'm going to write in here. I'm going to write a little something to myself. But I probably won't do it now. But it'll be something to the effect of something to do with freedom or feeling free as a bird or something of that nature. I think that that is a mental state and not a physical state. So for the most part, some kind of affirmation regarding that, I think, is what I'm going to do. And I really love that. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck that in there. Tuck my little card in there. It's going to be like a little tuck spot for that card. I don't think that needs any more flowers. I think that is good to go. I got my little birdie. I think it looks so stinking cute. I love it, you guys. I love it. And the only thing that I have left to do, if anything, just to kind of finish this page off, is that I'm going to go ahead and grab my brown distress ink and just give it a quick distress around the edges, just to finish, encapsulate the look, if you will. But I like it. I think it came out really nice. And any opportunity that I get to collage is an opportunity that I'm going to take. So I'm going to use this big Mama Jamma and just kind of go around the whole thing. I'm going to load it up nicely. And just kind of go around the edges. And just kind of bring the whole thing in together. You can go darker if you like, but this her image to me has a very vintagey feel to it. I mean, it is really old anyway, but the colors are very vintagey, very muted to a certain extent. So I like that. And I think that this will look nice with that additional brown in there. So my friends, this has been Art Journal page number 4 in our Chipboard journals. If you have not purchased your Chipboard journal, what are you waiting for? Visit happydaycrafts.com and get yourself one. There are 12 by 12 pages. You can take the pages out. You can put the pages in. They're also going to be coming in an assortment of papers. Like I said in the original video, which unfortunately I'm going to have to delete, I am going to be making these Chipboard journals with assorted papers as well. And I will do a video to, you know, to reshare that. I was looking for my journal. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our page number 4 in here. And I got a huge mess to clean, but this was amazingly fun. I'm going to go ahead and trim off these little bits right here because we don't necessarily need them at this point in time. Our page is complete. And this is what it looks like. I think you guys can get, you know, kind of like an idea for it. So I want to thank you all so much. I'm going to go ahead and put this baby back in her little home. And I will catch you guys on the next one. The next session will be jelly printing, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. Be safe, my friends. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and social distance where you can. I just made that rhyme. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.